Hi guys! Jake and Marisa, back in for more live reactions.
Kaitou, Sentai, Lupinranger.
This is Keisatsu, Sentai, Patranger. Pew pew, pew 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 pew. Alright, so we're just kind of jumping right back into it. Not much of a break between filming for us.
I forgot to put it on the right battery, but
okay.
It's different.
So yeah, we just saw episode 49 like a day or two ago. And now we're jumping in with episode 50, the penultimate episode.
Yeah, we're filming this on a Monday.
Yep. This is the penultimate showdown of Penultimate Destiny.
So what you're saying is the victor is going to be Mr. Rogers.
No, he was the ultimate champion. He was the ultimate champion of Ultimate Destiny. So whoever was the last man standing against Mr. Rogers, I forget who that was. I don't think they said.
They didn't.
No.
There
was not a clear bracket. It
devolved into sort of
for that.
An end of the world as you know it-esque quickness, and then they just went to, and then standing alone.
There was not really a
Mr.
clear
Rogers.
bracket for that early 2000s Flash animation.
Yeah.
It is not up to modern standards.
It wasn't really brackets either, because it was like one guy came up and then someone would defeat them.
Yeah.
And then maybe that one would defeat the next one, but then back in the other way. So they weren't coming at it from multiple sides.
Right.
It's not really a fair way to organize your Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny.
But yeah, we are looking forward to seeing how this all wraps up. Hopefully we enjoy the finale.
The Power Rangers were a part of the team that took out Chuck Norris.
That is true. Hopefully we do enjoy the final, the finale of Lupinranger vs. Patranger as much as we enjoyed the finale of Q Ranger last year. And hopefully we'll get some insight into what's coming next. I've been seeing things on Twitter. I know you haven't yet.
I'm spoiler-free!
Yes, we're doing a good job on that so far, so let's keep that rolling. And,
which means don't put spoilers in the comments.
And no one has, which has been good.
I know. I'm just pointing that out because I do actually look at the comments, sometimes more than he does.
Yep. So, one thing I realized I forgot to mention in the live reaction that we just released is somebody was asking what the progress is on 87. And the reason I haven't been mentioning it is because there haven't been any new updates. We're still waiting on actor availability. Fortunately, we are doing some filming with one of our remaining actors for that episode tomorrow.
Tuesday. Tomorrow.
Yeah. Which will be yesterday for you guys.
Time travel, Ted's trouble.
And
that's a trope.
And then we still have two more actors that I need to film with just to get really the last 2 shots of the episodes, right at the end. And it's if I could cut around it, I would, but it's kind of a pivotal moment in the episode. So I'm just waiting on that. It's been a matter of just actor availability.
I mean,
there were the holidays, then people were sick. People have been helping other people move. We had the whole snowstorm for a few days.
None of these people are
They're not paid. They're
not paid.
They're our friends.
They're friends. They're volunteers.
Yep.
They're doing this out of the goodness of their heart and the
and they all lead very busy lives.
Very busy lives.
I have the least conflict with any of this just because this is my busy life.
Yeah, I mean we've got other teachers who are that we expect people, and then people who have shift work jobs where they're out really late, and people with chronic illnesses, and
people who are expecting children.
People who already have several foster children.
That is also true. So it's just kind of...
And one actual actor. He does that for a living. But that's because he's retired.
Yeah.
He's retired from his day job. You can probably guess who that is.
So yeah, it's always just trying to get in the filming where we can, when we can,
doing us
and as
pro
much
bono.
as we can.
And most of the stuff he does, he actually gets paid for.
Yeah.
So everybody's got stuff going on. So definitely don't hold this against the actors, please.
Yeah, no, of course not. I don't think anybody does. But hopefully when I do get to meet with my actors again, we can knock out their scene. Like, at this point, I've written ahead more than I had the last time that we met up to film. So hopefully we can knock out scenes for, like, the next few episodes.
That is the good thing about having the set here and getting the actors the way we do right now, is that when we do get them, we wind up filming, like, more than one episode at a time.
Yeah. This month is going to be a little bit of a pivotal month, because I don't think I've mentioned this, but I think it's fair to say at this point, since I was just at their baby shower, you know, a little over a week ago. Dave,
Guy,
who plays Guy, obviously major character, he and his wife are expecting their first child very soon. So
he's going to have daddy duty soon.
Yeah, so I haven't mentioned that, I think, on here, but, you know, congratulations to Dave and his wife on their, I don't know if she'd want to be mentioned on here or not, on their impending first child. So I'm really trying to see what sort of filming I can get done in February.
Although now that you mentioned Dave, that's another thing, is that the rest of the people who are doing this voluntarily, in addition to their jobs, a lot of them, although they're not professional actors, are also heavily involved in the community theater, which, if you've ever known anyone involved in the community theater, the words, "I can't, I have rehearsal," just...
Although it's also worth stating that everyone who's really, you know, part of the core characters that have been there since, you know, the first 20 episodes, when we started doing this, we were all living in the same apartment complex. The Morposters lived across the parking lot, and Dave lived over on the other side of the complex. But
in the more expensive apartments.
Whatever.
He had a pass-through.
Yeah.
No, we had a pass-through. He had doors on his pass-through.
Yeah. But anyway, the main thing is that
people could quite easily walk over.
We were within 5-minute walking distance of all of our core cast.
Dave was 5 minutes walking distance. The Morposters were like 2.
And now we all live half an hour away from each other, and we all have additional adult responsibilities that we didn't have, you know,
prior
6 years ago. So it's tough.
And we should really thank them for sticking with us, because of all the people who got into this with us, I would say that the people who were in it from the beginning, like Dave and the Morposters, none of us, you, me, or them, had any idea quite the scope it was going to get to.
Yeah, I was really hoping that I'd be able to actually do things in 3.5 years. That was the original plan.
So we have to be extra grateful to them for sticking with us this long.
Year 2 ran long, and then I was injured, we got married, I had a job that just knocked me out my ability to really do anything for 2 years.
Well, that's what happens when you work at a boarding school, see, because then the students are showing up at 10 o'clock at night. You saw that on some of these live reactions.
Yeah, and then it's just been, this last year and a half has just been trying to get momentum back. It's been grad school. It's also been trying to get the band back together and get into regular production
them from their respective
from the lives that they had really kind of settled into during the 2 years that I couldn't really film with them.
And so, extra thanks to the folks from before for sticking with us. I mean, we're very grateful to the people who've come on and later in the season.
Yeah.
But those who have stuck with us this long...
Yeah, it's really appreciated.
Really appreciated, because, I mean, without those central characters... Yeah, the story could not be told.
Yeah, they're very much are all core to the story in different ways.
And they definitely did not commit for 6 years, but they're here anyway.
Yeah. And some people, you know, were only in for a cameo, and then they were just really good to work with, and so they became major characters from there. And so appreciations to those people as well.
Yeah. Agent R had no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of our soup agents, we just bring them in for one thing. Yeah. But the soup agents that became recurring all became recurring because they were really great to work with.
Exactly. So, that's the state of things right now with Power Reviews. 87 is coming along well. The scripts for the rest of Year 3 are coming along well. I'm nearing the end of the script for 93. So that's doing good. The effects for 87 are looking good. So I'm hoping that I can do some significant filming this month before...
That's a real wood table.
Before Dave has a whole new set of responsibilities which could push filming for him a few months down the road.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and film the next few episodes of Guy during this month where I can, when I can. That's going to be the big priority. So that's where we're at. And the other place we're at is, as we mentioned, the Penultimate Showdown, Penultimate Destiny. Episode 50 of
Kaitou Sentai Lupinranger
versus Keisatsu Sentai Patranger.
Pew pew.
Forever Adieu.
Now I'm the only one doing the pew pews?
We did the pew pews already. Forever Adieu.
Oh right, that's in the entrance.
There it goes. I wasn't doing any finger pointing. I was queuing up the episode.
I know, I forgot that we do the pew pews on the very introduction.
Yeah, we'd already done those. We had a lot of
just talked for so long that I forgot we did it.
Yeah. Alright, that's right. Kairi versus Amigo. Let's see how this goes.
He just tossed his guns.
Yep, so he could kick a table. Also, he can just keep randomly summoning more guns, because that's how he works.
Oh, right. He works on Derringers, doesn't he? They get one shot each, and then he chucks them from the guns.
Yep. Oh, nice. He's got his prognostication ability. Now, Zamigo is still got that liquefaction ability, so he's not really going down easy. Oh, yeah. Goody can still take out one quarter. Hey! Oh, that's nice. He's getting the
siren.
The siren.
Yokai! I learned that word watching the Genesis Evangelion.
Please stop using buildings as cover. That's not what they're there for.
This is the Patrangers. They are continuing their,
disregard for collateral damage.
Silent bullet strike!
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Porterman.
There we go. Yeah, that's
Porterman were just there for...
That should be a
yeah, exactly. As Goody Striker said.
Well, they're
Granio may have taken him out, but he can handle Porterman like that.
Yeah, and basically... What's going on? We're having a moment here.
We are having a moment.
Was there some damage or something? What was that? But yeah, the Portermen were basically just there to pull Keiichiro away from Kairi.
Lamika's awake.
Yep. Toma's probably going to wake up pretty soon. Hey, random guy.
The global police have their own hospital?
Apparently. Nice. I mean, that guy was just doing his job, but still.
Well done, Toma.
That was smooth. Mysterious treasures left by the Phantom Thief Austin Lupin, known as the Lupin Collection, have been stolen by the ganglers. The thieves who fight to recover what they've lost. The police who fight to protect world peace. Whose side are you on? Yame no naka de Futeki ni wa aru silhouette Kono shitai Shiitake catch me if you can Destiny Yokoku saru Honta no nuchi wo Rikai suru mono dake ni Hikari Anatsu Mongai Fushutsu no collection
Hold up,
Lupin Darenimau
gonna
chase you up Ubakesu Ushinai Shitoke wo Tokasutame Dairumawase Lupin Samatukuru chase you up Yatsurani Adu Azayaka Lupin Rangers, it's showdown. Ding bang ding bang ba ba boom ba ba doo 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 doo
Didn't want to turn off.
Oh, what, your phone?
Yeah. That's what I was like.
Just a little delay there. Out through the window.
Oh, right, because they had to go to the office to retrieve their stuff.
Oh, in through the window.
They need their VS changers.
Yep. Yes, they did. Is it a plan to take down Zunigo or Dogranio? They're not going back to the hospital. They know Kairi's out there fighting alone. Like, they haven't even seen him yet, and they know.
They made the pact. They assume he's following through on it.
Yep.
It's a reasonable expectation and a reasonable fear.
Yeah. Nice. They've done a really good job building up the relationships with these people. No. That's sweet. I get now why they made the creative decision to keep their identity secret for so long. It was really so that they could have the payoff of developing that friendship at Juror.
Yeah, the longer they kept the secret, the more invested the Patrangers became in the safety of the Juror trio.
Yeah.
Which was able to transfer over to their alternate identities.
Yeah. There we go. Whoosh.
Blue and yellow in through the skylight.
Oh, nice.
The skylight that wasn't there a moment ago.
Yep.
Her gets cold with him. Kind of. Why did you just pull me out of there?
Oh, he wasn't going to make it. Oh, that's nice. They've evolved past the promise.
Because they care about each other now, almost as much as they care about the people they lost. They've been through a lot together.
Yeah.
Trauma bonding is a real thing.
Yep. Everybody's suddenly trying to help him out. He's like, I was ready to go do a last stand. Everybody keeps getting in my way.
He really is a little punk.
Yeah, a little bit. Here we go. Hey, how you doing, Noel? Oh. I love Sakia's face.
He has packing tape on for bandages.
I was slugging off. Really? I don't think it's. Why does he have packaging tape on?
Oh, you know, it's not for bandages. He was trying to tape up the window. Did you see?
Oh, that's what he was doing. Oh, that is sneaky. That was a nice subtle little bit there.
I thought he had them on his bandages, so I was like, you weren't even injured. But then I saw it on the window behind him, and I was like, oh, he's trying to pack tape up the window.
He's putting cardboard with the GSPO logo on it. Oh, that's fun. Oh, they're not going to be able to take Degradio down alone, but I admire them for putting forth that effort. There we go.
I love when we do that thing where you pan around and you see the team on a rooftop in their unmorphed state.
It's a classic thing.
It is definitely a thing that happens a lot in both Sentai and Power Rangers.
Yeah. Well, Countdown to Destruction is one of the most classic examples of that.
And the thing about it is, in Power Rangers, they have to refilm it because it's not in costume.
Right.
There. But it's still, I love these moments.
Yeah.
But yes, Countdown to Destruction, I am the Red Ranger! I am the Red Ranger! I'm the Blue Ranger! Like, that I am Spartacus moment there is...
Oh, it's one of the greatest moments in the entire franchise. Mm-hmm. Unquestionably. Yeah. Alright, time. Go. So the question is, how do they get how do they get the collection piece out? They got something tricky that they're playing.
They do.
Oof. Yeah, this is going to be rough.
They gave up two of their
pieces.
And went to do this, and I strongly suspect that, like, what Noel asked him to do that is so dangerous is to occupy Belgranio after giving up two power-ups.
Yeah.
I need you to give us some of your power-ups and then go occupy the big bad while we take out Zamigo.
Yeah.
And they will, because not only are the Lupinrangers people trapped in ice, so are a lot of the people from the disappearances. So as the police, they're willing to go down in this fight if it gets all the people back from Zamigo.
Yeah.
Ooh!
Drone time.
Don't throw on a stick!
Or whatever it's the magic camera time.
I was going to say, if this is a drone, they have an ace drone pilot. Because they get way too freaking close.
That's probably GoPro on a stick, but they do also have a drone. That did have a great overhead shot.
But when they're like kicking over things and stuff like that, if that's a drone, then they're drone pilot.
Oh, nice. It's like, oh,
he dodged it anyway.
What? Oh no. What?
Noel's on ice. Just in case you're wondering why I was just like...
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Putting Noelle on ice was part of the plan.
Lull him into a false sense of security.
Much like Toma and Umiko with the guard.
Yeah. Apparently, if you have the
broke the ice.
Yeah, I guess if you have the gun, you have control over the ice.
I'm gonna guess Zamigo didn't know that
they knew
that they knew how to that they knew how to break the ice.
Whoop. Hey guys.
Oh
dear. Oof. That was nice.
Ouch.
Oof, Noelle just got smashed. We got both of them here now. That's not good.
Everybody on the playing field at once. So it might not be Zamigo and then Dogranio.
Oh, we'll see what happens.
This might be a melee. Zamigo, Dogranio together. What?
What? Oh, are they combining forces? What is happening? Let me get inside your safe. What?
What he's basically saying is once you go in there, you're not getting out unless I choose to let you out.
Yeah, exactly.
But the other thing, I guess he's under the impression that if he's inside the safe, he is experiencing what Dogranio is experiencing, and therefore experiencing beating the Lupins, which is what he wants.
Interesting. Come and get me. No, he wants to fight them inside the safe, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're going to be fighting Zamigo inside, while the Patrangers are fighting Dogranio outside?
Interesting.
We're going to need these more than we will.
Oh, they get Victory Striker. They're swapping.
And magic.
Yep. There's Blade and Scissors. Nice. I like that.
Adieu.
They're doing a switcheroo on their collection pieces. I'm down for that. Oh, this is interesting. Whoa, this is shiny. Ooh. And here we have all the remaining collection pieces. Time to finish things. This is interesting.
Like I said, it's going to be simultaneous.
Yeah. So, Patranger after Dogranio. And he... Whoop. How many pieces are in here?
A lot.
This is cool.
And will we have to hope? Oh dear.
This is a clever.
Jacob, I just thought of something,
sequence.
sweetheart.
They don't fight. They don't get out without his say so.
Well, that I remembered, but here's what I also
Shouldn't underestimate the thieves everyone's talking about.
think we've forgotten momentarily.
Yeah.
If you destroy someone,
Yeah.
you destroy what's in their safe.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So they can't destroy Degrani until everybody's out.
Exactly.
Ooh. What? What do you mean? So wait, your power doesn't come from a collection safe, so... What was in there? They locked his safes? Oh, wow! Oh, that's an interesting ability.
Because they're one-shot guns, and he gets new ones out of the safe all the time.
It's never been needed before. But yeah, these can lock. That's great.
That's why they had to swap machines.
That's something that I feel like it makes sense.
And that's why the Patrangers need dial fighters.
To get them back out. Whoosh. Now, Toma and Umika, they come back now?
Everyone's come back
oh,
to
nice.
exactly where they were when everything went
wow.
south.
Oh, that's great.
They're blue now. That's right, because,
something with blue flowers and...
Well, Zamigo burst into a thing of blue flowers, but the other thing is that they had actually, like, knocked over a thing of red flowers.
Right. There we go, and they get sent back right to where they were. Hey!
Yeah, there's all these blue flowers in this dimension.
Big hug.
Okay, so now how do we get out of here? Interesting translation of yatta.
Here we go.
Meanwhile,
now they need to get out of there. They've got the dial fighters. They need to get that safe open. Alright. So now we got the stage set for the final episode. Now it's time to see if they can get them out.
They're awfully happy for people who might be sitting there forever.
Yep. Well, they accomplished their goal.
I mean, I guess they know it's absolutely futile to try and get themselves out. That it's going to have to be the Patrangers, so there's...
Oh, that's a spoiler right there in that final image. That's a spoiler right there in that final image, and I was wondering if they would do it.
They did.
Can you tell what I'm are you seeing what I'm seeing?
I'm not going to say it on the video. But I see. Right there.
Yeah. Anyone who watches this, in the final image of the preview, there's something sitting next to Lupin's, and I was wondering if they would bring it with them.
Which they did.
Now, I don't know if this will work, considering the Patrangers are still outside.
Yeah.
But I was wondering about that. That being said, that should still... That might be their way of helping. I think that'll be their way of helping resolve things, and then we'll get the final wish at the end. Because we gotta get the final wish in the final episode.
Yeah, but here's something I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
If the final wish, now that they've got their friends back anyway, I think, as far as satisfying narrative, giving it to Kogure and Noelle would be what I would like to see.
Well, they need I feel like what the wish needs to be is just to bring back everyone who the Ganglers destroyed in one way or another.
Yeah.
To bring back all the lives destroyed by the Ganglers is really what they need. Even if they've already brought back their people, there were still a lot of people who have died.
Oh yeah. No, when I say their people, I meant their species.
Yeah.
Because
but even beyond that,
if they can't get everybody, then it would be at least nice if they ungenocided their people.
Yeah, and I'm assuming also that
there are more humans.
I mean, I assume that everyone who was in disguise was supposedly destroyed as well. Yeah, so that's
they're flat
something
of dead.
All right, so one thing I like is. I've been concerned for a while that the final fight against Degranio was gonna feel the end game was gonna feel a little contrived because he hasn't done anything all season, but somehow it seems to just work, and I think part of that is because we reached the emotional climax of the series at the same time, so you were able to just kind of roll with the villain coming in for it. And I feel like a lot of times it's the reverse and it doesn't necessarily work. You bring in the main villain and therefore it's time for the emotional climax. Instead, if you have the emotional climax already there, fully set up, and very much worked towards, then having the main villain present just feels appropriate. Even if the timing might feel a little, overly convenient. I'll put it this way without getting too spoilery, I think. Because
are we talking about a different show?
A different show. Steven Universe, for example. There was an episode, I thought at the time it was the finale of Season 5, and then there were more episodes of Season 5. But you know how the diamonds are basically the big bads.
Yeah.
And they happen to just show up during a very pivotal emotional moment for the characters. Anyone who's seen the episode knows what I'm talking about as far as Diamond showing up during a very pivotal emotional moment that was also kind of a landmark moment for children's television. But it felt right because it was already a high-running emotional moment. And it just continued to carry on that.
I have nothing to contribute because I haven't watched Steven Universe.
Yes. But it goes to show when you are working towards something emotionally instead of just ticking off the plot points, it ends up being a lot more satisfying, I think.
This was definitely a emotion/character-driven season.
Yeah.
And I'm always fond of character-driven arcs, to be perfectly fair. That's... I don't know.
And I think
my favorite Power Rangers have also been very character-driven.
Yeah. I think one of the other things is that when it comes to Degranio here, he doesn't have an endgame. We kept feeling like an endgame was going to feel tacked on, and then he just doesn't have an endgame. He's just doing it for fun. And that's all it is.
He's in it for the evilos.
Yeah.
And he's got nothing better to do considering all the other Ganglers are dead.
And it's not like, he finally accumulated all this power or anything.
No, he had it from the
He's
start.
just had it all along. He could have done this at any time, and it wasn't until they had sufficiently gotten his attention that he decided it would be fun to just mess with them by destroying everything.
I was like, alright, game's over. Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, up until, like, it started a little bit when Destro was destroyed. What?
Dobronio's the DM.
To an extent.
And he's just gotten so frustrated with the party.
Yeah.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Yeah. Well, it started with, the loss of Destra. Got a little frustrated, and then he found out from Gauche about Noelle, and I think although they didn't explicitly state it, I think to an extent, running into Noelle and learning about Noelle and then seeing Noelle in person, I feel like that sparked...
I think maybe he had some unfinished business. He's like, I haven't finished genociding you yet. I need to kill you now.
I think it's pettier than that. I think it's nostalgia for wiping out a race, because it was fun for him.
That's sick.
Yeah, but that's the kind of character he is. He did it because he felt like it. And being reminded of that, he's now in the mood for it again.
I'm in the mood for genocide.
That's pretty much how he is.
Okay.
He's got no... He's like... There's no deeper emotion fueling any of his actions. He just does what he wants when he wants, and he just didn't want to until now. And then it's like, oh, yeah, I destroyed a whole race of people because I felt like it. And you know what?
Let's do that again.
I think I'm going to do that again.
It's fun.
Gauche had gotten to the point where she wanted to go up against them because she was fascinated by Noelle.
Mm-hmm.
After Destro was gone, they all just kind of started to zero in on them a little bit more and want to up their games. So it could have been a cleaner setup with a little bit more focus on the villains.
But overall.
But it still works for them.
Yeah.
It still makes sense. It's not feeling
forced. Episode. I am hyped.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm liking where we're at. I thought the reveal on the trigger machines was another thing where it's like, okay, we've gone 50 episodes without mentioning that. Kind of comes out of nowhere, but
it makes sense.
It makes sense, and it's something that wouldn't have been relevant until now.
Yeah, I've never tried to lock them before.
They've had no reason to lock a safe before now. And Zamigo even said that his power doesn't come from a collection piece, so there's nothing they need to get out of those safes.
No, the only thing in those safes is an infinite supply of these freaking guns.
Yeah, so you just cut them off. And that was really clever. I really liked that. I feel like that really worked. And them using his guns against him.
That bit with freezing Noelle.
That bit was freezing Noelle because they were able to use his guns against him in that way. Because really it was all about getting that one piece out once they could.
The piece on his back.
Yeah. The trade-off for the Lupins and Patrangers taking each other's pieces,
makes a lot more sense now that we know one locks.
Yeah.
And also, they're gonna need those.
The Patrangers for their final act are going to need to open a safe.
Yeah, they are.
That's the big thing they need to do. And I feel like, right now, from inside the safe, the Lupins are going to be in a good position to help out in a certain regard. So yeah, there was a lot of good stuff in this episode. I felt like, everything with regards to I felt like we got good emotional resolution for the Lupinrangers, and that really worked. I felt like, the Patrangers, basically breaking the rules for the Lupins work because they've developed those relationships so hard.
Yeah. It's like, I am a cop, but I know you're going to fight Dogranio or Zamigo in either way, so I have to give you back your VS Changer.
Like,
Otherwise, I'm basically sentencing you to death.
The biggest... I feel like some of the biggest flaws of the show were that they did not do a great job establishing the conflict throughout the series. Like the initial premise, we need to get the collection pieces, we need to defeat the Ganglers, that much at least was established. But as far as the villains and what was driving them and their motivations, what was keeping the conflict running between the Lupinrangers and the Patrangers, that I feel is where they fell down.
I realize that they call themselves the Phantom Thieves, but as we've said before, they primarily steal from Ganglers.
Yeah,
so...
they're really just assisting in disabling the Ganglers. Yeah, they occasionally stop the destruction of a Gangler to protect the collection piece, but they still end up destroying the Gangler, and there's very rarely any sort of consequence
that whole, that part was...
and usually it was that they were about to, remove the weapon of a Gangler, and then the Patrangers would get in the way more often than not. The Patrangers let Ganglers get away just as often, if not more so, than the Lupins.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the character conflicts were not really clearly established and motivated, but the resolutions of those conflicts was very meticulously worked towards throughout the series.
I think one of the ways they could have established a little bit more of that was if they had a few more collection pieces in the hands of humans, where they just broke into their house and took it.
Yeah, that would have helped as far as establishing them as being, operating outside the law and being a danger in some way.
Yeah, exactly.
But they never did.
That's saying.
Yeah.
They'd put a few collection pieces in the hands of humans, had them, do a couple of mundane heists, even if they were off-screen mundane heists.
Yeah, exactly.
That would put the police against them.
I think there was only one episode where they got a collection piece from a human and it was turned over willingly.
Yep.
I think that was Blade and Scissors. But the resolution of the conflict has been very well built up in terms of the relationship between the Juror Trio and the Patrangers being core to them being able to work together at the end. The slow build-up of the Lupinrangers all caring so deeply about each other.
What's going to happen to the Lupins after this is all over?
I don't know.
Because technically speaking, they were arrested.
Yeah.
And also, Omika might be able to fly under the radar because she's a minor, but the other guys had their faces plastered all over TV as criminals.
Okay, here's what I don't know if it would be right or not, because it would separate them from the Patrangers, and I feel like emotionally that doesn't quite work.
Sending them all to France.
Sending them all to France with Noelle and opening up a new shop over there.
That would be cute, but it would also separate them from the Patrangers.
And they are the global police, so that does kind of, that would still be within their jurisdiction.
Oh, okay, so they all go there, and then suddenly, these guys all got transferred to the Paris branch.
Yeah, everybody just moves to Paris. I think that...
Everybody goes to Paris.
Everybody goes to Paris.
We'll always have Paris.
They'll always have Paris. That'll be the end. I'm surprised we still haven't gotten, I was expecting that by now we would have gotten a trailer for the next season. But I'm guessing that's going to be in the final episode. Or maybe the trailer has come out and it just wasn't tacked onto this particular, copy of the episode. So, because I definitely would like to comment on that when that, emerges.
Pardon my yawn. I've run out of caffeine, you see, so now I'm yawning.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of good stuff in this episode. I felt like there were strong emotional moments. They kept it, although it was more Lupin-centric,
It had some really nice emotional beats for the Patrangers.
The Patrangers were still central to them being able to resolve everything.
And I think we're going to get some extra focus on the Patrangers next time, since they're the ones fighting Devanio.
Which is really interesting, because they, giving them sort of the final battle, sort of tossing them a bone, because they were not, set up to be the ones to be doing the final battle in the first episode. They didn't even get their powers until the end of the first episode. But it is going to be interesting seeing if they can manage the kind of emotional strength in the last episode they had in this one, because this one was a very emotionally strong episode, because it was centered around the Lupins' core motivation throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
The Patrangers have been a little bit fuzzier and more generalized. Like, it's always been about, protecting the city, but that's been a much more generalized motivation than the more specific motivation of the Lupinrangers.
Get these people back.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I will point out is that taking out a head of a criminal organization definitely sounds like a police kind of thing to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They're bringing down an organized crime ring.
I think
of one, because the rest of them are all dead.
And I think one of the nice things is that they are being given an added level of personal motivation by virtue of presumably wanting to save their friends.
Yeah, the Lupins are in that safe, and we got to get them out.
Yeah.
We can't just blow up Dogranio, because we have to get them out first, because we've already established that anything in the safe, when you die, is destroyed.
In different ways, they've all become very attached and protective of the juror trio. Mm-hmm. And I like that has become an emotional touchstone. It felt like it was something that they were focusing on a lot throughout the season. Especially during the latter half of the season after the initial crossover, and it felt superfluous a lot of the time.
But it makes sense now.
But it makes sense now. That it ended up serving a larger purpose, and I think that's good. It was definitely frustrating that they weren't really accepting of the Lupins until they knew who they were, because there was no real solidified reason for them not to accept the Lupins.
It would have been better if they'd heisted a few human houses or something, because they got no reason.
Or anything that could have driven them apart. Maybe an effort for both teams to work together that went bad, or something like that. That's really the main thing the series was missing, and that's not a knock against any of these final episodes now that they know each other's identities.
That's something that should have been better about earlier episodes.
Yeah. But I see now they were working towards this payoff. It made the setup a little frustrating, but the payoff is still working. Mm-hmm. And it's sort of that sort of stealth, in a way, that stealth character development that we talked about at the end of Kyuranger, where each of the different Kyurangers represented a different aspect of that core theme of hope versus despair, which was something that wasn't really clear until the final episode, when we realized that Donna Marage was the physical manifestation of despair. And so I think the fact that we now know what the emotional heart of the show is here at the end, we see that that's been there all along. And I like that both of these Sentai series that we've been watching through the live reactions have that, revealing the heart of the series towards the end, bringing everything into focus. It makes for a very good emotional payoff, and I appreciate that. So, any additional final thoughts on this one?
No, I'm good.
All right, so hopefully next week, hopefully we'll. I'm hoping maybe we'll have some more news on what's going on with Tower Reviews episode 87. We'll see. I'm going to keep trying to coordinate with people. But outside of that, it's been a fun ride. As much as I don't know if Lupinranger vs. Patrangers grabbed me in quite the same way that Kyuranger did, just in terms of Kyuranger having that broad concept. I've become... These characters have really endeared themselves, I think, to all of us. And by keeping that core focus, I think, has really been the strength of this series. Along with, you know, some nice, clever little twists in the last moment.
Yeah.
You know, I think, like, a number of the emotional reveals we've had in these final episodes have been quite a bit better payoff than, say, finding out, you know, Don Armage's true identity last year. So we're getting a good, strong emotional core this season, and I like that. So, all that being said, we're looking forward to that finale next week, but until then, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. Zamigo may be cool, but he just got burned.